All right, we got UFC Moreno versus Albazi this weekend, so I'm here to break all the fights down, predict who I think's going to win and why. And yeah, we're kind of finally in a little bit of a dry period again for cards. We got this card, it's not looking too good. Then Magny versus Prates, which that's a good main event, but not the best fight night either. And then we have 309. Yeah, that's going to be one of the worst cards of the year. Probably the worst main event of the year. No one wants to see John fight Stipe, okay? We all know who we want to see him fight, but that's not going to happen. First fight of the night, we got Jamie Lenor taking on Elena Petrovic. And this is a decent fight. I mean, I think both of them are not the best. It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck about this random women's fight? I'm not going to talk about this much. But I watched some fights. I watched some tape on both of them. Not much, I'll be honest. But I think Petrovic, a slight underdog, I think she is. I think she looks way better. I think her striking and her grappling just looks overall better. I think her level of competition slightly better too. But in reality, no one knows who the fuck's going to win this fight. They both have one fight in the UFC. I think they both lost it. So, I don't know, man. I don't care. But I think Petrovic, she looks better. I think she'll get this done. Let's go decision. Yeah, that was a hard choice. Next, we have Chad and Hillier taking on Cody Gibson. Now, I know a lot of people seem to shit on Cody Gibson a lot, and I know he has a lot of losses in the UFC. He's not that good. But I think Cody Gibson's actually going to win this fight, guys. I know. I think he can win this. I don't think Chad's very good. He has a severe case of pillow hands. He don't really do much except feint a lot, run in with hooks and 1-2s. I don't know. He just doesn't really seem that dynamic. His striking is all right, but his grappling seems to be a bit lacking. And Cody Gibson is pretty well-rounded. He's faced decent level of competition. He's gone through the Contender Series like twice or whatever, so he's pretty tested. I think Cody Gibson can get this done, and I think he's honestly fighting for his contract, so you either win or you get cut, bro. And hold on, I want to talk about the cuts they made recently. What the fuck? The UFC, I think they're going to cancel the flyweight division, guys. I really do. They cut Mateus Nicolau. He was like ranked number 10. What the fuck are they doing, bro? I'm not saying Mateus is that good. I'm not saying his fights are that entertaining. But that Asu Al-Mabayev fight was not that bad, bro. No, it was a bad fight, but his performance wasn't that bad. It was competitive. He's in the rankings. Do y'all want this division to stay intact or not? Flyweight's going to get canceled or some shit because they are making the stupidest cuts with that division recently. They also cut Rebellis to Spain and a few other people. They went crazy this weekend with cuts. It's actually insane to see. But yeah, that's the reality of the sport. It's harsh, especially the UFC. When you're the top, you either deliver and earn your right to be there or you get cut. It's kind of unfortunate. So yeah, let's go Cody Gibson, decision, because he doesn't really have too much finishing potential, but I think he'll barely edge this one out by decision and keep his UFC career going for a little longer. But yeah, neither of these guys are that good. Next we have Zerhai Sadeh taking on Garrett Armfield. And I think I'm going to end up picking a lot of underdogs in this fight. I don't check the odds until after I do the picks, and I realized on accident, I picked a lot of underdogs, so yeah, but I don't know. I think that's a smart way to do it. I don't think you should look at odds while doing your picks. It just fucks with your head and makes you think about it the whole time. So, I'm going to go Garrett Armfield, the slight underdog, I think. I think his power will win him this fight. Sadeh, he hit his last opponent, whoever that guy was, who missed weight in his last fight. I watched it. It's a really good fight. They went to war, but man, he just gassed and had he was in it. He had a lot of heart, but he has such pillow hands. He struggles to hurt people. He's not strong. His grappling's not good. And I think Garrett Armfield's grappling is actually pretty good. It'll probably be the thing that wins him this fight. He's pretty well rounded, and he hits a lot harder. He looks a lot faster. He's probably a lot more tested as well. So I'm definitely gonna go Garrett here. I think it's the easy pick. But, I mean, he's lost a few times. He's had some disappointing performances. But I like Garrett. He's pretty cool. We'll go him by maybe sub. I don't know. Probably decision. These prelims aren't looking the best, boys. Next, we got the Battle of the Blobs. Alexander Romanov taking on Rodrigo Massimento. I don't know. I don't care, okay? These guys are nobodies. No one gives a fuck. It's heavyweight. Does anyone give a fuck? Even if, like, the top 5, no one cares about heavyweight, guys. Let's be real. But I think Nascimento is going to get this one done. Yeah, Rodrigo should get this one done. Romanov gasses every single fight in the first 2 minutes. He has 1 to 2 minutes of 3 or 4 power strikes with slight feigning, and he's gassed. That's all he has to offer. He can't sustain energy because he's obese, like most of the heavyweights. And Rodrigo's performance against Derek Lewis was pretty bad. He did not look good in it, but his grappling, he was able to get Derek down and control him, right? So I think he'll be able to do that to Romanov, even though he's a big boy. Rodrigo's also a big boy. He's just less of a big boy, you know? So we'll go him. Fuck it. Let's say knockout because it's heavyweight. Let's hope for a knockout. I don't know. Next, we got Jack Shore taking on Youssef Zalal. Now, this is the first good fight of the card. This is a pretty good fight. I mean, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but I like Jack Shore. He's pretty good. He got kind of fucked in his last fight, stopping it against Brito when he was actually giving a competitive fight. It was a competitive performance. It was. And they stop it because his fucking, like, shin is bleeding? What was that? That was the dumbest stoppage decision of all time. I don't know what they were thinking. He's literally bleeding out of his shin, so they stop it. What? Are you dumb? That means nothing, okay? Because it's gonna be a lot of blood. It was bleeding pretty bad. I do remember it, but no, you don't stop a fight because his leg's bleeding. Like, fuck off. I think Jack Shore might be the underdog here too as well. How? He's a bit undersized for the division. That is true, but Jack Shore is gonna fucking dominate this guy. I'm guaranteeing it. This guy, Youssef Zalal, his last 2 wins, he won by sub, okay? He won by sub against 2 people who cannot grapple. He was on a 4 or 5 fight losing streak before that. This guy's fucking terrible, okay? He can only win if he can exploit your grappling. And Jack Shore is a grappler-dominant based guy who has really good grappling, very aware the whole time. I mean, he's been taken down and controlled a few times. He's been outdone in the grappling before, but I don't think today is going to be that day. I think Jack Shore is going to get this one done by sub or TKO. I think he's pissed. I think he wants a really good win after that last fight, how it ended. So, yeah, give me Jack Shore by finish. Next, we got Charles Jordain taking on Victor Henry. And I think this is a pretty easy one as well. I think Charles Jordain is going to knock this guy out or get a pretty dominant decision. Charles is a weird case, you know. He's really good. Everyone likes him. He has a cool personality. I remember when 2 years ago when I really started getting into the sport, I followed him on TikTok. I found his TikTok just naturally. He's cool, okay? He fucks with anime. You know, all of us fuck with anime. Don't lie, okay? Don't be gay about it, okay? You know you do. But I think Charles Jordain's going to make this look pretty easy. He's coming off a decent performance against Gene Silva. I don't know. Gene Silva's good, but this dude is so low output. That's going to be the downfall of his future in the UFC. He don't throw enough. He may land devastating finish shots a lot when he does throw, but he needs to be higher output, okay? Because against Charles Jordain, he was getting out-volumed until that finish. He was. I'm not saying he was winning the fight, but he was getting out-volumed. He was getting out, he just wasn't taking charge and initiative. Like, get ahead. You're just letting the fight get away from you, and I think that's going to be a big problem for him moving forward. But back to the actual fight. Charles Jordain is way bigger. He's way faster. He's way more tested. He hits way harder. He should make this look easy. Please, Jordain. This is kind of a layup for him, I feel like. Come on, Jordain. You can do this. And yeah, Victor's coming off his best performance, I guess. A finish. His only finish in the UFC. And it was not a good finish. The guy just wilted. This dude has such pillow hands. He's small for the division. He just doesn't have any power in his hands. Like, he was hitting the dude with everything he could, and the dude wouldn't even fall. The ref just had to step in because the guy stopped just fighting back at all or defending. Yeah, I'm not even impressed with that finish at all. I just think he's pretty good. His striking is good. He knows how to catch people's chin and find them in decent range management, but I don't know. I just think Charles Jordain is way better, way more tested. He has a lot of losses, but I don't know. I think he'll get this done probably by finish or pretty dominant decision. Next, we got Jasmine Jasudavicius taking on Irina Lipski. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Jasmine here. I think she just looks overall better. These two are actually pretty good. I don't think either of them are ranked. I don't know. I don't keep track of the women's rankings, guys. I'm going to be real. But I think Jasmine looks a lot better, a lot faster. She hits a lot harder. She's a lot more game. I say that so much with women's fights. Yeah, she's just a lot more game, man. She looks like she can actually hurt people in there. But it's the truth. Some of these women they just look like they've never striked in their lives. Like, they just look like they can't hurt people in there. And I think Jasmine's pretty big. Her grappling's pretty good. She's pretty well-rounded, so I don't think she'll get grapple fucked here. I think she'll be able to win this fight by a pretty dominant decision. We'll go with that. Next, we got Amin Zahabi taking on Pedro Munoz. Now, this is going to be probably my most insane pick of the card. I'm going to go Pedro Munoz. Now, hear me out, okay? Pedro Munoz has an iron fucking chin. He's not getting finished. I don't care if Amin has a lot of power and he's finishing people and he knows how to catch people's chins, because that's what he's good at. He has really dynamic striking. He's constantly feinting, making you think a lot, overloading your brain with stuff. And I like him. I think they're both pretty good fighters. Wait, no. I think he's a good fighter. Pedro Munoz is on the decline, about to be cut if he loses this. He's won like 2 out of his last 7 or 8 fights, I think. Now, his level of competition has been crazy, having to fight fucking everybody, basically, in the championship picture at bantamweight. And yeah, he just gets fed everyone as a layup. It's unfortunate. I had to fight Sean, then Cheeto, and then I don't even know. But I think he'll get this done because I don't think he's going to get knocked out. And I think Amin is pretty plotty. He just feints a lot and is really low output. This is my prediction. I think actually my pick will be wrong, and I think Pedro Munoz will lose. But I think it will be robbery decision, and I think Pedro Munoz will get robbed and deserve the win. Because I think he'll just slightly out-edge him. Maybe even implement the grappling. I know he doesn't really do that. I don't even really know how his grappling is. I don't, guys. Not the biggest Pedro Munoz watcher or fan. But I think we'll get this one done. Probably by decision. Moving on to the main card, we got Trevon Giles taking on Mike Malott. Mike Malott making his highly anticipated return to the UFC octagon after getting finished by Neil Magny. Yeah, that was a bit of a rough one, eh? I feel bad, though, man. I feel fucking bad. This dude, bro, he went from an undefeated prospect, finishing everyone the UFC's given him, about to be in the rankings if he beats Neil, dominates the whole fight, and then he just gasses, and he gets TKO'd by Pillow Hands Neil, bro. That shit must hurt his soul every time he puts his head on that pillow to go to sleep, because holy shit. That sucks, man. It really does. But hey, Neil got him. He got the top position and actually went for a finish, unlike any of his other fights. I guess he just really felt no threat of danger from him. Because, yeah, Mike Malott just tried to scramble and throw up armbar attempts and just got TKO'd. It was not a good look. He kind of wilted really badly. But I think we'll get this one done, okay? Trevon Giles is coming down from 185. I think Mike Malott's going to use that light man skill. You always pick the lighter guy, bro. You always do. Okay? They're just going to have way more skill. I think Trevon Giles, I keep saying Giles. I think he hits a lot harder. I think his striking's pretty good. He has pretty good lengthy arms. Definitely has the reach advantage here. Maybe even the speed advantage in the hands. But I think Mike Malott is going to implement the grappling. He's going to rain down elbows and ground and pound. And yeah, I think he'll get this one done by decision. Get his career back on track. Maybe even finish him, because Giles has been finished before. I wouldn't say he's chinny by any means, but yeah, I think Mike Malott will get it done. I feel bad picking against him, so yeah, I'll go Mike Malott. Next, we got Marc-Andre taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. And this was a hard one. This was one of the hardest picks for me because they're both pretty good. Both pretty evenly matched. Both have pretty significant weak points, though. Marc-Andre's chin is not looking the best, boys. Like, I know it's Joe Pyfer, but getting knocked out by the first punch the opponent lands is just never a good look. It's hard to pick him after that performance, but I'm gonna go with Marc-Andre here. Both have decent chins. It's weird. Like, Marc-Andre's chin looked really bad recently, but it's been good in, like, recent performances not too long ago. So, and I think he's pretty well-rounded. I think they're both pretty well-rounded. So I think Marc-Andre is just slightly bigger, slightly stronger. I think he'll outdo him in the grappling, which will be his key to victory here. Because Dustin, he's good. He has some subs and shit, but I feel like he's just not that good of a defensive grappler, and he's going to get taken down and controlled. So, I don't know, man. This is a hard one, but I'm going to go Marc-Andre by decision. Yeah, we'll go with that. Next, we got Caio Machado taking on Brenson Ribeiro. I'm going to go Brenson here. I think he's just, I don't know. I think he's a lot better everywhere. No, I don't know. I think he's better. He's faster. He hits harder. He's more snappier. He's way faster. I think the speed difference here is going to be insane. I think Caio or Machado is fucking terrible. He's really slow. His power should be way better for the size he is. Yeah, I just think Brenson, I mean, he's been chinned once in the UFC, but it was a really good combo landed. I don't think his chin's bad at all. I think his grappling is good enough to not get taken down and controlled for 3 rounds in this fight. And I think he'll outgas Machado pretty easily. So, yeah, we'll go Ribeiro here. Probably by, like, head kick KO or boring decision. It's going to be one of the two. I don't think it's going to be in between at all. It'll be a boring fight or he'll get a flashy finish. Next, we got Derek Lewis come down here from a main event spot. That sucks, but he's taking on Renato Diniz, and I'm going to go with Renato Diniz here. Yeah, I think he's actually pretty good for a heavyweight. I think this is the sad truth about the heavyweight breakdowns. I just think he's going to outgas Derek Lewis, you know? Derek Lewis in a 5-round fight is different, okay? He's really hard to finish and really hard to sub. So if you're in a 5-round with him, he's probably going to come back in the later rounds, and with that extra fucking second win he gets, with that heart he has, just thinking about fried chicken after. All right, no, that's racist. I cannot say that. Thinking about food, all right? He's thinking about yummy food he's going to get to eat after the fight. So I think there's a good chance if it goes late into the third and Diniz is gassed completely, then Derek could get the late TKO stoppage. But no, I think Diniz, I'm pretty sure he's an undefeated prospect in the heavyweight division. So he needs to win this. We need some prospects. We need some new ones. Derek Lewis is talking shit on DC in the build up to this as well. Shut up, man. Stop making fake beef with your friends, all right? Let's just stop that. I'll go Diniz by decision, probably. Next, we got Aaron Blanchfield taking on Rose Namajunas. This card's not bad. There's a few pretty big names. But I'm going to go Rose because I think Aaron's really good. She's the real deal. She's going to be a good contender in this women's division for a long time, I think. But I don't think she'll be a champion. I think she kind of got exposed in her last fight. She got outdone in the feet and the grappling by her last opponent, which I think Rose is the fucking underdog here. How? Bro, Rose is so good, bro. I know she's had a few iffy performances recently especially, but Rose is so good everywhere. You're not outstriking Rose. You might take her down for a round, maybe 2, but I think Rose will get this no matter what. And I think they'll want to give her the decision, so if it's a really close fight, Rose will definitely get it. So, yeah, we'll go Rose by decision here. Going to be a lot of decisions on this card, boys. It's going to be fun. Next, we got Brendan Moreno taking on Amir Albazi in the main event. Now, I'm not impressed with Brendan Moreno recently, man. I'm really not. I kind of thought he won that Brendan Royval fight when it was they were about to read the judges out. I was like, oh, this is definitely going to go to Brendan Moreno. I wanted Royval to win, and I was like, oh, I was happy. But honestly, I thought Brendan kind of outdid him. Like, he landed the more significant shots, but he did get out-volumed, okay? Yeah, I guess if you want to count strikes to the forearms, as damage, you can. But I don't know. That's not a diss to Royval. He actually looked the best he ever has in that recent fight he just had. So good. Yeah, that dude's the future of this division. I think he gets another fight with Pantoja if he keeps reigning eventually and wins, because his striking looks so much better. And as long as he can defend the takedowns, at least for more than half of the fight, then he should be able to get that belt against Pantoja maybe. I don't know. But now this matchup is hard to pick, okay? I've not been impressed by Brendan, but Albazi is pretty untested, I say. He's undefeated in the UFC, has finishes, but they're not the best names. You know, they're decent. I think he fought Kai Kara France and won by split decision. It was a pretty close fight, but yeah, it was. I think it was a 5-rounder as well. Yeah, it was. He has good cardio. Okay, that's the reason I want to pick him here. I think there's a good chance that he just out cardios Brendan and gets the decision. That was kind of Brendan's problem. That was kind of his problem in his last fight. He kind of just got out cardioed and outpaced and out volumed by Royval. So I think I want to pick Emil here. I'm gonna be real, like, because if Brendan, I don't know. I kind of want to pick Brendan because if he loses this, then I can finally say he's done. Okay, he's never gonna win at the highest level again. You know, I mean that's not true. He can still win, obviously, but I just think Amir. Like, he's one of the NPCs, bro. You got to get through Amir if you ever want to get back to that title picture, Brendan. Which, I don't know, man. This is a hard one to pick. I'm going to go Amir, okay? It's a hard fight to pick, but I'm going to go Amir. I think we'll get this one done just by 5 rounds of slightly outdoing him. And I think he's a lot bigger than Brendan, too. He'll probably outsize him, maybe even take him down. I don't think his grappling skill or technique is better, but I think he'll outsize him. I think he'll out-cardio him, and he's just going to out-will him here. No matter the skill sets, I think he'll out-will him here. So, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go Amir by decision. So, yeah, that's the whole card, guys. Pretty mid, but I still wanted to do a prediction video. Every card. I will not miss a single one, okay? I promise y'all that. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.